Okay, so we will put the glue gun on because we're going to need it. Okay, so we've already got all of that. Okay, so I'm looking at the design now, and well, my reference pictures for this thing. So basically the bits that we're missing are fine detailing. So like we need some bolts up here and like bits of detailing on this, because this needs a little bit on the outside there. I'm going to stick these two together up the top here because that's just there to hold the shape, because this bit will widen out otherwise, so I'm going to stick those together. There's going to be a little bit here that goes across the top and a little bit there. It would have been this, but I made a cock up and put it on the inside. My bad. So this is going to end up being a little bit thicker, but then we put the little squares on there to make it fit. These holes are too small, but I need them to be that size because, I mean, that's the rigidity we're talking about at the moment. If I made them so they're only like 1 or 2 mil thick, we'd be just falling apart. So that definitely needs doing. This side, I swear those are hinges. So there's little hinges down here, which I'm going to have to put in, so it's like a hinge by here. So if I can find enough of the round stuff, I will put that in. If not, I will attempt to make some square stuff look round. Nothing I haven't done before. It's fine. Actually, no. If I cut a bunch of where's that little thing? If I cut a bunch of these in like 10 mil and put them along, that'll work. And then it'll look like hinges as well, so that'll work. So I've got some hinges to put on by here. You know, little screws by there. We've got the bit of metal that comes down here, that's got to go on, as well as one that goes over the trigger, because that's the trigger guard. Then we've got the back little stop here, to stop it going too far on your shoulder. That needs to go on. So we need to do that. We've got little triangular pieces that have to pop up in here, and then our bars going between them, so there's a square bit on top. That hasn't been done yet. Then yeah, we got the little bit on top, so we got that. I may have to just remake the carriage entirely because, well, I feel like it mostly, and I can. You know, it's my main reason for doing stuff. So basically it's just fine detailing now. Yeah, there's a hinge on both sides. Now admittedly this is much wider than it's supposed to be because it's supposed to be going up at an angle like that. But I will accept this how it is, because it's just a little bit thinner than it should be here. That should be like that much wider. But I am not remaking the whole thing to correct that tiny little boo-boo. Screw that, that's stupid. So I think that reference is the best for it. So yeah, people keep going like, why do you need so many displays? Well, I'd be able to display my references when I'm going through them if I had more displays down here. But also, I'd have to set up extra displays down here just for the sake of that, and those things aren't exactly cheap. That's mostly the reason. So if we do a bunch of these in this thickness, move you back to there. Oh, did I welcome people to the show this time? I can't remember. If I didn't, welcome to day 7 of my Fatman build. This is hour 12 to 14 of one prop. So yeah, basically those go down the side. I think that's too thick. Okay, it's between the two of them. I don't have a pipe that's between the two of them, so I'm going to go for the bigger because I think that'll work better. So yeah, we're going to have them down there and just make a row of them about that long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So make 12 of these and we're done. Thirteen. Now let's go retrieve that first one. I think the hinge is only going on one side, so we only need 6 of them. Admittedly, you may think we need one on both sides, but you're not getting one under there. It's the kind of thing you've just got to do. So I want it there, I want it to look proper. I do not care the fact that that is 5 of 6. 6 should be enough. Also, I found a small mistake last time, so while I was examining, so whenever it's loose. Also, recutting those pipes so they fit looks a lot better now than it did. It's like that looks a lot better because it used to be out like that kind of thing. But you know, it was like down like that. It looks a lot more in place now, so I'm going to be happy about that. Running down. Just go into a little bit of snipping. We now have a little hinge which goes on like that. Again, it feels too big like that, but and if we did it in that size it would be far too small, so let's get a little bit of chalk and mark out where these things are. Okay, so ignore the first one. So we go like that. So you've got this little bit of metal. Okay. And then that goes on like this. So it hinges on. And of course we make some messy welds around there. So it's just a welded on hinge. Go. And we have a little hinge on it, so it theoretically can open. I mean, it can't, but I do not care. No, it's not the best, but once it's all painted, it'll be okay. This thing is so light compared to what you'd think it is looking at it. So I'd still like these to be taller, so like that type of curve. It feels wrong them being that short and it's annoying me, but it'll be a lot of work to correct. At this point at least, so I guess they're just going to have to remain small. Oh well. Watch now, I will be redoing that before the course is over. It annoys me that much. That one will need holding for a little bit. So does this still fit, is the question. Yes. Not perfectly, but just about. So let's get some thin foam and I mean, I don't like destroying the originals, but and sometimes you just have to. Now, I would also prefer it if they made it like one layer thinner, but same again on the other side. Let's just mark it off the chalk and cut. Take that off. So we've got that. And all these things seem really minor, but like these little bits of detail make the difference between a good prop and a great prop. So now you've got those little bits of detail. I know you can't really see much difference, but you can't see the bit I'm doing now, but I need it standing up vertically, and I have to do that from the floor because so what I did there, I put a little screw on the back of that, which you can just about see. If you really squint, you can see it, that type of thing. It's tiny and pointless. Now I have to do some tidying up around it because okay, now for one of the last bits. Actually, no, we do that bit actually last, because we can do the top bit first. So I'm going to have to come to peace with the fact this is shaped slightly wrong. I don't care. It's happened. Across there, come here, grab the knife, cut. And that fits all the way across, so we need two little triangle bits, which are just like basically we get a bit like that. So yeah, we end up with a little bit like that. That bit sticks in, we put one on the other side. I really want to raise that up. It's just annoying me so much. It'll be fine. And that goes a little rectangular section in the bottom, like such. So let's see what the detailing on it actually looks like before I go do something stupid, you know. It's got a nice circle in it. That's basically what it has in the thing. Okay. So, there you go. Got a little plate with a circle in it, which goes in the middle. Grab the other one. Okay, and two little pillars that go between them. I know this isn't perfect because the actual one had much thinner little peaks on them. hold that there for a second while it dries up. Instead of coming for them for the end. Anyone who is surprised at this point has not been paying attention. The rule is, if it's annoying me now, it will be annoying me at the end. You can correct it during the making process instead of looking at the end going, why the hell didn't I correct that? So we've got that, and we've got this bit that goes on top, which we all agreed was too small. So that's the original. So end up with about that shape. So that's the original. We get that to get on top. Okay. And just make sure that that fits correctly, which it does. So both of them fit, and we can now just transfer onto foam. That's number one. So that's the left. Then we go to the right. See, that's the thing with prop making. You've got to be willing to just tear it all apart and start again at any time, because eventually you are going to find out that you have made a horrible mistake. And the happier that you are destroying the whole thing and starting over. The better you'll be at doing stuff like this, where you've got to go in, just go. Well, I cocked that up. Let's start over. And that's the right. So the right side one goes on like that. And the left side one goes on like this. Pretty good. Just enough for them. glad you stuck them on the right side. That's really good for me. Okay, these end up being about the right size for the hole. Well, if it was big enough last time, it'll be big enough this time. Okay, let's stop. Let's look at the pictures. Change in design. I looked at the original and it's just like, huh. I have a feeling this is going to end up being the Hoover pipe again. Yeah, it is. In a move that surprises nobody. Yeah, that one's free. I call it the Hoover pipe because it is literally on the end of my Hoover. That's what I keep the floor tidy with when I'm done doing all this. And of course, they're like squared off the bottom for some reason in game, so. I will not pretend for a second to understand what's going through the minds of the game designers, but I am required to follow them. got a slightly rounded, so we've got a squared off circle. Hello. Pretty much fine. How are you doing? That looks way more like it. There you are. That looks much better now. Okay, it would have looked better if I'd done it right in the first place, but... just squish that on. That's much better than it was. We've got the little last bit to do with the cardboard. This will work better for what I want. So if we use this one, grab that. Okay. I'm pretty much okay today. It's just more progress day for me, so. Okay, so let's clean all this out. We've got crap all over the place that we don't want, and it's starting to get stuck in stuff. So. Okay, so we've got that. Let's see what thickness we need for these bottom bits. Direct down, please. So this one is going to be about as thick as that, but, you know, a little bit less thick than that, so use that as a reference. So if we make this one 2 centimeters, and oof. Okay, it can't take the weight that way. Whoops. Right, so it's 2 centimeters thing. And if we cut it here, because I mean it's going to be like 6, like 7. Okay, so if we make it 13, then 13, 23, 4, 27, and another 3. So we're going to get. So if we just do the full length at 40, then nobody really cares because we're going to cut loads off anyway. So we come down here. I think it ends up like that. No. Okay, so we start off like that. Then we head slightly up like that. Goes fold down on that one. Once we stop back here. So we end up with a frame like that. And of course we cut that off here. So we mark U as being the correct one. U. And here. Two, two, two. Going along like that. Then you and you. Another bit that we're saving. There and here. So for this one, we just go pop, thing, but that fold's supposed to be a little bit more flat. Okay, so we've got that there. That will be the bottom. And fold over. See, when it was bothering me that it looks too thin, but just fold that over. That, squeeze it down. And of course get that out the end. That's quite a good cut, actually. So let's just go along here, get this. Leave it on the end and cut. And a little bit off this end, find the end of it and cut. Okay, so now we've got that. Keep that held down, it needs to stay there. I mean, it's not the most stable, but it's there for looks more than practical functionality. Okay, now that looks the part. The question is, how much size did I increase by when we finished? 0.5. So whatever this is, so we need a strip that is 1.5 wide. And long enough to do this job. So 1.5 it is. 1.5. 1.5. 1.5. So now we need to look up the trigger guard because it had to be that shape, didn't it? Okay, so the trigger guard is like straight out to about the point of the start of the trigger, then curves down and across at 90. So ends up with like that much. Okay, it might have to come in there. I don't mind sticking it there, that's fine. Okay, so we need to add a little bit more to the bottom of that. So do I have a bit of 10 mil? I can just, oh, yeah, 10 mil that I can just chuck. Yes, I do. Big enough for my hand now? like that. Then like that, we get a full trigger guard in. Yep, that'll work. But I'm going to curl the back of it round up around there as well. So it's going to continue on considerably further than you'd expect. Your way. Convenient. So flip that over. Okay, and just squeeze all that out. Bring that in here. Squeeze it all out, you'll be fine. That there's just to cover the back of the this assembly because it looks a bit crap at the moment and I'd like it to not look crap if that's at all possible. squeeze all that in and we can get this out. Take that little bit off the end like that. You know, you can't really see the cardboard, so it's okay. Okay, so the trigger guard's going on. That's going to fold down. Oops. And that folds down there at the end. So that's where it's meant to be, because the end of the cardboard marks where the end of the trigger guard is. So we've now got the little frame on the front, big ass trigger guards because big ass hands. And of course we now have the little section at the back, which is going to be another 2 centimetre dilly, same as this. I was sort of hoping it'd be a little bit more structural than this, but meh. 2, 2, 2. So this one goes on in this position at the back. Let's get some references up because we always look at references around here. So we start off like that, come back to here, like fold up. Come up to about this height. In fact, no, if we come to there, come up to about this height. then come back down like that. And that's very much the shape we're going for. Now in this case we're going to have a little thin square or little rectangle bit underneath that goes like that. And a little thin bit that goes on like that. Chuck you back over there where you're safe. Bring you up. So this is the inside. So stick that down. Over. Flip it up, get as tight as I can, and go like this. Squeeze it through. Of course this metal's going to be much thicker than it is on the original, but this is like as thin as I can make it, so, you know. Of course, we can just squeeze all that over. And re-stick like that. We've got the little back section there. I mean, it doesn't have much strength to it, but it'll look the part, and essentially that's what we're after here. Right, so now bring the back of the Fatman. Like that. So we just cut that along there. Then come through here. And now it's supported properly, because it wasn't. So I mean, it's starting to get better. So this section here, I mean, this bit of metal is supposed to be running the full length, but I promptly ignored that because I didn't want to do it. But ultimately I'm going to need little sections of it, so little bits like that. Go through there. And of course these bolts are standing up way, way too high, so so now they're much flatter, which is, you know, supposed to be. Just cut some thin little strips of this. Should be enough. little brace to hold it on. I mean, thematically hold it on, it doesn't actually do anything. It just... you know, it looks the part, and that's the important bit. I really am surprised this frame at the front's holding up as well as it is. I was expecting it to have like fallen apart by now. Thank you. I'm trying at least. So we have two up the top. Like one by there. And one by here. So I also have one central one by there. One there. One here. Swap ends so we can actually see what's going on. One there, and one here. Yep. Yep. Definitely an awkward weapon to wield. I prefer to have a distinct tweak when you pull the trigger, but it doesn't. Right, so we've got all those little bits. Is there anything else that I need? Okay, so we get one of each of these. Too big by a lot. Okay, and we move across. Do I have any more of these? 2, 3, 5. In theory, that's 5. It's good enough. Ooh, 6. Then put you up there. You there. fun of greeblies. You just had so many of them. Out here. One there. Big one over here. So yes, people can't see what I'm doing down that end. I'm literally just sticking these all over the place. Oops. Again, little bits of detailing, always useful. Just put those on. Wow, this thing does not balance anymore at all. Whoops, that didn't go on right. Okay, let's try that again. Just leave those to dry. Now let's move to the other references for the other side. Some nice little bits of detail there. Maybe the thinner one would have been better. Doesn't matter. It's fine. So there's just random bits of metal sticking down on this one. I don't know why, this makes very little sense, but mean, it looks pretty, I guess, having those there. It's effective, at least for looks. Okay, yeah, you are never going to stand up again, Ian. Maybe that'll strengthen up that little bit more than it already is. Let's have a look at the bottom, make sure we've got everything. Yep, got all the screws, got that for no apparent reason. Ugh. Okay, so the bottom. How big are those screws? That's too big. Now yes, unfortunately this bit is actually just a square cut out, but I don't think that this structure is strong enough to take that. Like, genuinely, I don't think that this will survive having a big square cut out the centre of there. So I'm going to leave that solid and pretend that's the way it's meant to look. I don't need the thin stuff in there, so I'll chuck it back in. Go grab my sacrificial 5mm. Okay, fine. Need 6 of these. And that should be 6. And heck, I need to clean off this pipe because it is horrific. So much dirt on it now. Okay, I'm going to make 6. So like that. Okay, and a circle for the center. I saw one earlier that was brilliant for this. Admittedly, it's supposed to be sunk in, not raised from the surface, but I won't complain. I really want to do that cut out, but I know it's stupid and it just caused me more trouble than it's worth. I mean, look how weak that is anyway, right? Right, anything else that I can actually do to improve this or fix? No. Okay. Cut all them to be shorter than doing a knife for this. There you go. That works. Those bits on the bottom, we've got all of the rest of that, we've got everything up here. Now, as I suspected, it will not stand up straight. Well, fully expected. So we've got that, and we've got this up the front. Woohoo! Balance. About. None of those structures are designed to take weight. But now we have the carriage that goes along the top here, which, I mean, the original carriage doesn't fit because it's too wide there. Which means, like, these bits are going to have to go. This carriage was a basic working concept when I first started, so I mean, yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but it'll work, give or take a little bit. Wow, that wasn't even stuck. Oops. So, like, I need all that on there just to add the extra depth. But I would like it to be thinner, so I think I'm going to remake the carriage entirely. And that'll ride up and down, so that'll be alright. So we need to check the little fit. But also these need to be right a bit higher, so we stick them on up there. And of course we cut this bit back as well. And stick this one on at the same level, like such. Then get some of the thicker material like that. What was that from? Yep, like that. Cut another little bit like this. Somehow end up ridiculously thin and fail. So put it in like that. I mean, it still fits on the back of the nuke correctly, mostly, but we don't really care that much. So it still fits, all right? But does it fit? Great, it's gone wonky. It also runs down the track, so that's good. So on the side of this, we're going to need something because this looks crap. So unfortunately the camera may not show it, but this is slightly warped now. It's slightly curved like that. Okay, grab one of them. Basically, anywhere that's going to be visible has to have something going on. You can't just like have a flat piece of foam. Because if you do, it looks bad. Just work our way back up. I mean, it's not much, but just those little bits on the back make it look more like it's a thing. That's going to be annoying. So hopefully that'll dry and give it a good position. But yeah, there's a lot still to be done on this, but of course, this is supposed to lay back there in that position. Yeah, and supposed to have this on it. And that, well, it's not this one that's going on it, but... Okay, we are now bigger than the camera can fit. But it's definitely looking the part, so... To be fair, that mini nuke isn't actually going on this. I mean, the next part of this adventure is literally making the nuke that goes on this. It's just in its current form, it's this. I mean, if I put it forward a bit. There you go. Yeah, it just doesn't really look the part, does it? Like that. Oh well. And yeah, that is exactly what that other one is. Just that's 8 hours work later. Right, so that's... Well, to be fair, that's it for today, because I'm stopping. Next time... Well, to be fair, I'll be back playing Zelda tomorrow, but... next time I'm going to be having to make the mini nuke specifically for this. That's going to be stuck on in the end. That's probably going to be about the next 2 weeks doing that. 8 hours, yep, 2 weeks. So, thanks for coming. I will be back in 2 days, do some more of this. Unless you're watching the VOD, then it'll be 2 weeks. Bye. Okay. So, bye.